Hey everybody. We're going to get started in a few minutes, you guys. We're going to let everybody come in. If this is your first time joining, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, share the live, and like it. Let me know where you're watching from. Hey everybody. Average hello. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. We're going to get started in just a few minutes, you guys. Let a few more people come in here. Hello, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, share and like the video. So, it's called A Mother's Compass. We discuss things as far as parenting, advice, tips, experiences. This is our second podcast that we've done. We do this every Monday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I went live a little bit early tonight. Michael, hello. Also, if you'd like to know more of what's going on in this podcast, you can go ahead and hit my IG. My IG is the same thing. It is A Mother's Compass on IG. It's where I post my flyers, letting you know what the topics are going to be, and the conversation pieces will be. Let everybody know where you're from, where you're watching from, if you have children. Hello, everybody. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. My name is XOXO Mama. I came from another streaming platform, decided to do a podcast. Have been doing this podcast now my second week. It's called A Mother's Compass, where we share parenting advice. We share tips, we share experiences. Hello, Fortino. Habib, hello. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the live and share it. Thank you for the like. Thank y'all for the subscriptions. All right, y'all, we're just getting our notes together. We got about 5 more minutes and we'll get started. All right, you guys. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're just tuning in, let us know where you're from. Say hello. Make sure you hit the subscribe, the like, and the share button. All right. All right, you guys. Welcome in, you guys. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is XOXO Mama. I'm here every Monday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We were a little early today. So tonight we're talking about having those hard conversations with your teenagers. Because I think a lot of times, we don't really know how to approach our teenagers just because, our teenagers are a little bit more emotional, dealing with changes. Boys are growing up and becoming little men, and our girls are growing up into young ladies. Um, and so conversations are definitely hard to have sometimes. Um, we just have to keep in mind how we talk to our teenagers, because you definitely don't want them to feel like that they can't be comfortable enough to talk to you. So you always want to keep that like a protective thing, because a lot of times as teenagers, I feel like they go to the wrong people for advice. And so if we're able to make them comfortable, give them some understanding, let them know that it's okay to talk about some of the tough conversations, then they'll be more willing to come to you, or another adult, and they won't be getting the wrong advice from other kids. So, sorry, you guys, I'm battling a cold. So making sure that you stay calm, not being like hostile or reactive to what they're saying, but just having understanding, and being empathetic to your teenager is important. You can lead by asking questions, but definitely don't be judgmental. When your teenagers feel like that you're being judgmental, they're going to shut down. They're going to shut down, and then they're not going to want to talk at all. Don't lecture them. Don't get on to them. You can always ask them how they feel. But don't lecture them. Definitely giving them advice and making them feel validated on how they may feel is important, because they want to feel like that their feelings matter. You don't want to ever give them a reason to feel like their feelings don't matter. Also, when they've made a mistake, and maybe made the wrong choice in a situation, you don't want to like talk down to them or talk at them. So a way you could handle it would be like, I know the situation probably feels heavy. What do you think happened from your point of view? And listen to what they have to say. Hi, Class Swim. Let them know that it's okay that they mess up. We all mess up. We all tend to make mistakes. But you can ask them what they learned from their mistake and see if that helps them. Because like I said, you want to keep it empathetic with your teenager. You don't want them to feel like they're being judged on what they're telling you. You can always ask them to tell you what happened, because you want to understand what the exact situation was. And ask them if they can walk you through what happened. That way they don't feel like you're judging them. And then ask them, say, hey, look, I know that you're going through a lot of emotions right now. You're going through a lot of feelings, and that's okay. What do you need from me that would help you? And they may say, Mom, Dad, Auntie, Uncle, I just need some space right now. I need to figure it out. Or they just want somebody to listen to them. Or they may want advice on how we would have handled it, or we have handled it in the past. So just validating your teenager's feelings is very, very important. Hello, Rated R. So that's very, very important. I have a 13-year-old. She's about to be 14. And I have conversations with her like this all the time. She'll come home, tell me what happened at school. I'll ask her, like, well, what happened after that? And motivated. And then she'll tell me, and I'll be like, okay, well, what do you want from me? And when I ask her what she wants from me, she'll usually tell me, like, no, I'm good, Mom. Like, I don't need anything. You know what I mean? So it happens. Hey, you guys, come on. If you just hopped in, my name is XOXO Mama. I am a full-time mom. I also work a full-time job. I came from another streaming platform. This is something I'm very passionate about. It's called A Mother's Compass, where we give parenting advice, experiences, tips. We share stories. If you haven't done it already yet, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the like and share it to other people so they can come on and join with us, okay? We're here every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can also hit my IG. It's called A Mother's Compass. That way you can see everything's posted. I also have a Discord. If you want to be a part of it, hit me up on IG. I'll put you in there. It'll let you know what's coming up. Some conversation pieces that we're having. You can go back and look at notes from previous lives. And also there, it's a way for you, if you need advice or you have a question or maybe you want to share a story that we can put on a future episode, it's a way for you to let me know. Communication's always open up with me. I'm very transparent. If you would like to be a guest on here, I'm more than welcome to have you on here if you're wanting to share. We do next Wednesday, I will tell you, we have a streamer from another platform named Bag Santana that's going to be here. And he's going to hop in the live with us, and we're going to have a conversation about parenting. We have not come up with the conversation piece yet for next week, but I do know that this Wednesday we will be having a conversation about how to keep open communication with your kids, no matter what age it is. So today we're talking about those hard conversations with teenagers. Wednesday we're talking about how to keep open communication with your kids. Because it's important. It's important for a parent. It's important for a kid. Because both sides need to know they're being heard. Both sides need to know that they're safe with anything they say. And kids most definitely need to know that their parents are empathetic and want to be a part, and that they're safe to talk to them. So we have to reassure our kids that, we're here. They can come talk to us. If they don't feel like comfortable to talk to us, they can talk to an aunt or uncle, a grandparent, because I have my mom living with me. But sometimes it saves the intertwining of other teenagers or kids giving the wrong advice because of maybe how they were raised and it's not correct. Or they think they overhear the correct advice from their parents and they do like the telephone thing like we did when we were in school, and they pass the message and the message gets all screwed up. So we want to keep that, open. Another thing is just making sure that talking to our teenagers, when you become a teenager, that's when dating comes into twine. That's when making friendships come in. I mean, we make friendships all through elementary and middle school. But once you really get into like high school, later middle school and high school, that's when you really start to build. It's important as parents or aunts, uncles, grandparents. It's important that we give our kiddos the right advice. And I'm not saying I am like the queen of advice, because I'm not. I definitely have been learning my way with my kids. Hold on one second, you guys. I've definitely been learning my way with my kids. I've been growing up with them. And just kind of maneuvering. And I get a lot of advice from other parents because I don't quite know all the answers. I know answers to certain things, but not all of them. That's for sure. So it's always important when you have strong individuals in your corner to listen to them, because it takes a village to raise children, hands down. You can't do it by yourself. And then when they get to that age where they're teenagers, that is like an important stage that we're telling and guiding and mentoring our kids in the right direction. So we want to give them as best advice as we possibly can. We want to give them as many tools as possible to be able to maneuver through life the correct way. And let's be honest, school is like a playground for bad advice. It just is. Unless it's coming from teachers, educators, even then, some educators may have different views. And that's okay. Everybody has their own views. I had some really good educators when I was in high school and middle school. Yes. And so, me growing up, because my mom was a single mom, me growing up with the educators that I had on my side, I was able to really have some really good advice. And you know, my mom was working all the time. And then she met my stepdad, who I call my dad, that passed in November, year before last. It really helped her because he was really good with advice too. But like when they were working, I had a couple teachers that like I could call on the phone after school hours and be like, look, I'm going through this. This is what I'm dealing with. Or even during school hours, I could go to them during break time and I could talk to them. Right. And they don't always know what is best for your child. So just really leaning on the community of your circle is important. Especially when they may have gone through some of the same things that you're going through currently. Like, I'm a first-time teenage mom. My oldest, I'm going to tell you, that girl is an angel. And I don't know how I got blessed with such a great teenager, but I'm very thankful. I tell God thank you every time. That's facts. It's very good to have a safe place in school. I had this teacher. Her name was Miss Harvey. It was my choir teacher. I sat in there during my lunch. I went in there after school until my mom could pick me up from school. That is where I stayed. That woman gave me all kinds of advice. She was at every birthday party that I ever had once I was in high school. She was there for our graduation. Like, that teacher, I've stayed in contact with her up until probably the last few years. But like, that was like a second mom to me when I was in school. So again, it's very important to keep those open conversations with your teenagers so that they feel like they can come to you. I know that certain things they're not going to be comfortable. They may not be comfortable talking to you about dating. That's just them being independent. They may not be comfortable talking to you about what their preference is in dating, because I know that when I was growing up, it was just one way. You know what I mean? They didn't like you having different preferences, choices in races, any of that. So it's very important to be understanding and be empathetic with any kind of conversations that your children want to have with you. And hold that to your heart, because a lot of teenagers won't open up. But definitely talking to your kids about what healthy relationships look like is important. And I don't mean just dating relationships. I mean friendships, relationships with other teenagers, relationships with a man or a woman. You really want to give them like some substance to know what a healthy relationship looks like. Because you don't want them to be 25. I'm going to use myself as an example. 25, having their first baby, and no one around to help. And I wouldn't change that. I love my kids. But I feel like if I would, and I love my mom, don't get me wrong. I feel like if I would have had a little bit different of an interaction with being shown what relationships look like, then I may have not had as many failed relationships. Guiding kids through social interaction is important, most definitely. You know, they say, what's the word I'm looking for? You are what your surroundings are, I think is how they put it. Like if you're raised in a broken home, you're gonna raise your kids in a broken home. That's not always true, you guys. Not always true. It's just how you handle it. My mom was a single mom, yes. But my mom did a dang good job. I gotta make sure I don't cuss on here. My mom did a very good job. I'm very proud of my mom. She is a very strong lady. So I did learn from her how to be a strong mom, how to be independent, and how to raise my children. And so I'm trying to live by that part of, even though I'm doing it by myself, trying to not be so hard on myself, because I do know I have a village of people that would help me if I needed it. If I needed someone to step up and help me if I was to get sick or if something was to happen, I know that I have people that would step in. If you're just walking in, we've been live for about 35 minutes, you guys. If you're just walking in, my name is XOXO Mama. I am a former streamer on another platform, and I had decided to do a podcast and live stream here on YouTube. And soon it will be posted on Spotify. But it's called A Mother's Compass. It's a place where parents can feel comfortable to share advice, have their life experiences, share tips that may help other parents. So if you haven't already hit subscribe, please hit subscribe. Share this live. Also hit me with a like at the top where the thumbprint is, or it might be down on the bottom where you guys are at. I appreciate everybody coming to hang out with me. We'll also be live on Wednesday. Tonight we're talking about the hard conversations with teenagers. Wednesday night we will be talking about how to keep open communication with your kids no matter what the age is. The other thing I want to kind of hit on, because I think it's important as our kids go from middle school to high school, is really having conversations with them about being pressured into do things that they normally wouldn't do on their own. I feel like peer pressure is a definite thing. I think that it's definitely increased since my years in middle school, high school. I think bullying has definitely progressed a lot. So you really want to talk to your kids and make sure nobody's pressuring them, or what pressuring may be. Give them some not analogies, but some examples of what that might look like, so they're not caught off guard. Positive peer interactions is very key. Very key. Because I think a lot of times, I know when I was in school, I wasn't the most popular kid, but I definitely fit in with like the music, singers, like the artistic kids. And so that was positive for me because I was able to express myself through music and my art. So definitely making sure that your kids know what positive interactions are and what negative interactions are. Um, Another thing I will say is, and I know this is a hard one for people, but parental controls on social media, any kind of technology device as far as phones, tablets, computers. I feel like some kids you may have to use parental control, and people might say I'm wrong on this. Um, like for example, my youngest definitely parental controls, definitely. My oldest, I do use parental controls, but to a certain degree because I want to protect her from people that don't need to have access to her. But I don't need to protect her from having access to other people, if that makes sense. Because she's very like book smart and common sense smart, but she's very empathetic, and I know that people can sway her with certain words and ways they talk to her. So I want to try to prevent her from falling into any traps. So her and I definitely have those conversations about parental control on their stuff. But they also don't have social media neither. They don't have a TikTok. They don't have IG. They don't have Facebook. They have a kid's Facebook, which is attached to my Facebook. Um, but I know, like, as my oldest gets older, I'm going to have to start, like, teaching her positive ways to be on social media because social media is inevitable for teenagers to want to have access to. So when you handle it and address it yourself rather than letting them have access to it and then you finding out they have it, you're going to have a better interaction with your kid talking about it. That's just what it is. Definitely talking, I think once they get to 14, 15, it's important to have conversations about goals. And what they really want to talk about their future. And have like a class, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a plan, I guess. What do they want to plan for their future? Like, what is goals that they would like to see and accomplish? What is things that they would like to obtain, going through their teenage years or through high school? And, like, making sure that they're realistic goals. Because you don't want them to feel like they failed, but also need to let them know that it's okay to fail because you can always try again with certain things, not all things. Now, sports, I'm very competitive. I don't know how to tell somebody, and it's something I'm working on. I don't know how to tell somebody it's okay to come in second place. And that's probably terrible. But I'm working on it. You know what I mean? I'm under construction. I'm just a parent trying to learn. And, like, my oldest is in band. So, like, we've definitely had conversations about, like, competitions. Like, it's okay, keep practicing. You'll get better. It's not always going to be a win. But as long as you put your best foot forward, really try, and you can be successful. But I'm really trying to work with her on dedicating the time to be successful. Like, don't come home and play on a video game. But yet you want to be the best percussionist on your band squad. I need you to come home and practice. I need you to come home and practice, and then you can go on a game. Come home and practice your instrument, and then... But, Mom... That's what I get. But, Mom... But I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. You guys, we are going to go tonight on the TT side. I changed the name to A Mother's Compass over there. So when we get off in just a few minutes, we're going to go over there. Because I want to promote my YouTube. Yeah. Y'all, we do have a banner coming. I'm working with Hot Chocolate, the one Hot Chocolate, on getting a banner made, but I have to get a banner holder because I don't have nothing to hold it. So if you check out my IG, I do have a streamer's wish list on there to try and get some things that I need. A streaming chair, ring lights, microphone, so that we can be more versatile with our podcasting. I also want to get a mobile mic because I'm going to be doing some traveling next month, and I want to make sure that I can still do my podcast while I'm traveling. So, but going over some of the things that we talked about, making sure that we reassure them, having those hard conversations, letting them know that you appreciate them actually coming to talk to you and being open with you, because it's not always easy for them. It's not always easy for them to open up to you, especially if you're their mom or their dad. It's not easy for your teenager to want to open up because a lot of them close themselves off. A lot of them are very quiet. They don't want that interaction because they don't want to be judged. Also, let them know that even if y'all may not agree on what y'all are talking about and how it was handled, that's okay because you still love them. You still care about them. You're going to try to guide them in the right way. But yes, we know they have to make their own decisions. Even if they're not the right decisions, we'll still be there to guide them and let them know. George, hello. But you guys, we are on a road to 1K subscribers, so that we can have full access to YouTube Live. So please make sure you let people know. Get them to come and hit the subscribe button. We're like at almost 70. We need like 900 and something. So let's try to promote this, you guys. Once we hit 1K, I am going to do a drawing on something that I'm working on. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is so that y'all don't have any expectation of what it may be. But there will be a drawing for once we hit that 1K subscribers. And then make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button at the top, and then share this live so people can watch it. That always helps get subscriptions too. Wednesday we'll be talking about having open communication or keeping open communication with your kids and what that looks like and how to handle that and how to be able to keep that open communication with them. If you have advice, you can also hit me on IG at A Mother's Compass. You can also, if you want to be a part of the Discord, so you can go back and look at like cliff notes about what the lives were about. Um, you can hit me on IG at A Mother's Compass. Also, next Wednesday we will have a guest. And if you're a guest with me, you do get to choose the topic of parenting for the conversation that we have. That is what I'm leaving up to my guest. Nikki, hello. So this is our second week, too, of A Mother's Compass. If you're just walking in, this is a parenting platform. Oh, hippie! This is a platform to discuss parenting, advice, experiences, tips that you may have. Thank you. Why is it weird? I mean, you're coming in. I want to make sure I acknowledge you. Hold up. What is your meaning? Hold up. Hold the front door. Not you laughing, and you're not going to tell me. That's wild. BM. I'm so confused right now. I don't know what that means. Oh! Dang. I feel so lost. But you guys, I want y'all to remember something. All of us have a compass that we're all trying to maneuver. All of us have a journey that we're trying to take as a parent. And finding our way to maneuver through that and guide ourselves with our compass is very important. So even though your compass might tell you one direction, it all leads to the same purpose. Raising our children the best way that we possibly can, with the best advice that we can, and with the best care and love that we can. And as long as we show them that, you know, they may make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes, you know, growing up. But as long as we're there and we're empathetic and we're really trying to guide them the correct way that we know, then they have the best opportunity and the best tools possible to be successful adults. Especially with our teenagers. You know, everybody says that like we're raising the next, you know, generation. Very much so, we're raising the next generation. So we want to make sure that we give them the best advice that we possibly can. And we want to try to do the things as best we can. And give yourself some grace if mistakes happen. Because it's bound to happen. We're not perfect. God didn't make us to be perfect. And just going through life and trying the best that we can is all we can really do. But the best advice that I can give you is really lean on God. Pray for your children. Pray with your children. Because it's very important. It's very, very important. But, you guys, until next time, I am going to sign off. I will be back Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. We are going to continue the conversation about open communication with your kids on Wednesday. If you would like to be a guest in the future, please hit me on IG at A Mother's Compass. I would love to have conversations with others that have gone through different things with their children. I will let you choose the topic, and I'll base the conversation off of that. I'm super excited for us as we grow this channel. I'm super excited as we grow as a team and become each other's village. But I am going to go to TikTok so that I can promote. If you want to come over there, come on over. I don't usually stream over there, but we're going to try it tonight for a little bit. But I appreciate everybody being here. This live will be posted. I think it takes like a 24 TikTok. And I think it's listed either under XOXO Mama or A Mother's Compass. I can't remember. But yeah. So let's continue this conversation on Wednesday. I appreciate you guys being here so much. The live usually takes a few hours, 24 hours, I think, to post if you want to go back and watch the beginning. But please let everybody know, get them to subscribe. We're on our 1K journey. And then from there, we're going to keep growing, you guys. This is not something I want to stop. This is something that I really want to focus on and continue to grow and really get the word out there. But yeah, I love you guys. Bye.